Welcome to another episode of Just Scrapping By, the YouTube channel where we find value in some of the most commonly thrown away electronics. In today's episode, we will be scrapping a flat-screen television manufactured by Samsung to see what valuable components can be found within. The model of the television is a UN58H5202. It took us about an hour to disassemble and another hour to depopulate the circuit boards. So let's get into the project. The first step to scrapping this flat-screen television is to get the back panel removed so we can see what is inside. We will need to remove the 14 screws around the outside corners of the television. We also need to remove the small black screw found near the power port and remove the stand screws if they are still attached. Once the back panel has been removed, we can see that the components we can scrap are a little bit underwhelming. There is a main power board with some useful components, as well as the board that sends and receives picture and sound. This does not look like it is going to be a profitable scrapping session, but let's depopulate the circuit boards and see what we can salvage. There were only 11 electrolytic capacitors in the Samsung television. Although 11 is a small number, do not let the number fool you because some of these capacitors cost $5 a piece to buy new. You can see the exact value of the capacitors we salvaged in the table on the right, with a total salvage value of over $23. We only pulled 5 ceramic capacitors off the circuit board. Although these capacitors are less than $3 in scrap, we will still add them to our collection. We easily removed 5 film capacitors from the television to add to our collection. Film capacitors are cheap, but they are very easy to remove from circuit boards and have a long stability over their life cycle, so we will add them to our collection. There were 2 dual-channel choke inductors on the power board inside the television. Both inductors have a nominal 6.38 mH inductance. These 2 small, easy-to-remove components also have a nice, cool nominal $6 salvage value. Transformers, which in many ways look like inductors but do 2 completely different things, can be found in many devices. This Samsung television had 1 small-sized transformer and 2 medium-sized transformers. We calculated the salvage value of these transformers based on the average size and turn ratio of transformers available for sale online. Out of the 4 diodes we removed from the power board, 3 of them are LT4T24 recovery diodes, with the other being a general-purpose MUR460 diode. Diodes are cheap to buy, but you can never have too many in your parts drawer. There were 3 miscellaneous components we pulled off the circuit boards in the television. The first appears to be a MOSFET device but is actually a BYV29X general-purpose diode. The second component is a thermistor, and the final component is a varistor. Although these components do not even equal $5, we can find a use for them someplace. We found 2 small pieces of wire in the television. These are not worth even attempting to calculate a value for, and will get put in a big bulk bin of this type of cabling. We kept a little under 2 dozen screws from the television. Only 2 of the screws we kept are threaded to go into plastic. The rest are all machine screws. Let's look at the breakdown of how much potential profit there is in our salvaged components, and see whether scrapping this model of Samsung television is worth it. When we add all of the component values together, as well as the value of the scrap metal contained within, we get a total value of $52.90. If the device took a total of 2.5 hours to disassemble and depopulate, and we made sure to pay ourselves the 2024 Canadian minimum wage for our work, as well as sold each component at top value, we will have made a pure profit of $13.38, not including our labor. In order to break even on this scrapping operation, we will need to receive a minimum payout of $39.50 on scrap and components. So the question is scrapping this device worth it? If you were to obtain the device for free, or for at least less than $10, you would make a profit. There are not many components in the device, but the device is easy to disassemble and the boards are easy to depopulate. The few components that you can salvage out of the device are useful for either resale or other projects. For the Samsung UN58H5202 television, we give it a scrapping grade of B-. Thank you for watching our video, and remember to subscribe to our channel to see more great tutorials on how to turn the old into gold.